migrants and refugees. Here's the ending. What happens is they cut the hand off the thief.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. All the people that have yelled at me for this are also pro letting migrants and refugees into America at very high numbers. Now, the same religion that is supposedly so terrifying that I cannot spend 24 hours in that country is the same religion that all of these migrants and refugees are pretty supportive of that are coming over.
Yeah.
So it feels weird to me that people are getting on a moral high horse and going, it is so dangerous to go to Saudi Arabia for 48 hours. Why? Well, because they do X, Y, and Z. Why do they do that? Well, they're this religion is crazy. I go, okay, but then who's coming into our country? How differently do they feel about all of these things? And then if you poll them, they don't feel that different.
No.
Like,
there's no room for dissent.
Right. So people that are somewhat radicalized in that religion that are coming into America are supposed to be greeted with open arms, and it's not compassionate, and it's terrible if you suggest that we shouldn't take all of those people because they may not assimilate as easily as people from European nations. You're called a racist, a Nazi, whatever. But if you want to go to one of those countries that is luxurious, nice, you know, then you're attacked because your morality. I have to, in order to perform in Saudi Arabia, I'm supposed to agree with everything they do. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, there's no logic in a lot of the thinking. I mean, it's silly. But what they're doing with allowing mass migration in the UK, you see it in England and Ireland, and it's really weird. Because, like, where does this end up? Because it seems like it ends up with some places that have Sharia law.
Yes.
And especially when you consider, like, how many babies they're having versus how many babies the English people... I mean, they're openly talking about it. We're going to outbreed you.
This is why when people talk about this issue, they often use the example of, you know, Western countries not reproducing enough, not replicating their population. And they go, well, there's going to be a crisis because people are not having enough children. So immigration is needed to sustain the population. What they never talk about is why people aren't having enough children. And a lot of it is because economically, they feel like they cannot afford to. Culturally, there have been policies that have, you know, focused on things outside of the family. We haven't had a ton of, like, pro-family policies in Western countries.
There's a little bit of that, but then there's also the issue that a lot of people have careers and they're trying to wait. Okay, so if you're a woman and you're in your 30s and you've decided you want to have a family and, you know, you're 35, 36, as you get older, the odds of you getting pregnant drop pretty radically.
Well, but this is part of the, I think, part of the problem in Western societies is we've told women that being a mother is not as fulfilling as working in a Fortune 500 company. Right. And I don't know any women that are mothers that regret it or are unhappy. Most of the happiest people I know are women with children. Truly.
Yeah, they're very happy if that's what they want. And if they're very miserable if that's not what they want.
I'm not saying they all should have children, but there's a lot of people, you know, when you meet a young couple with children, I've never met happier people personally than that.
No, that's true. As long as they're getting along and as long as the woman actually wanted to have children.
Yes.
But there's a lot of women that are like, there was this lady that I knew back in California that it was really sad. She was like super career oriented, and she had a child that was friends with my child, and she was never home. I mean, she would get home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
She worked in, you know, high profile business.
Yeah.
And was there all day long. And when she came home, she was exhausted and short tempered, and you know, it was not good. Like, it was not good. And the kid was miserable.
And the kid was upset.
Yeah, but it was a lady that tried to have a kid later in life.
Right.
She was a career woman, you know, and she had, like I said, high-profile job, very important job, and the kid was a distraction.
I'm not saying that women aren't capable of having jobs, or there's many women that are amazing in the corporate world, but I am saying that, like, when you completely, center a culture around ideas outside of family, career, money, status, and you build a structure around all of those other things, and you go, well, maybe we'll have one kid to have a bigger house, or maybe we'll have one kid to live in a better neighborhood. And you start going, well, wait a minute. What is the purpose of this? And a lot of that seems to be somewhat by design. And then other cultures come in that do value family and having lots of children. They are going to outnumber you pretty quickly. And their values will become the values of the larger society.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing that's going on, too, is that from, the 60s, 70s, and then when I was a child, you could sustain a family on one income.
That's right.
Today, that's virtually impossible if you're making $50,000 a year, $60,000. It's really hard. It's really hard to get by.
Yeah.
And if you have a wife and a family and you have bills and a car and maybe
terrible.
2 cars, it's fucking rough.
Yeah.
And Dave Smith talked about that.
Yeah.
Thank the people who brought us into wars that cost trillions of fucking dollars.
Well, not only that, I was talking to my aunt about immigration, who I like, and she, was basically going, I said, I think you also have to pause legal immigration for a minute. And she goes, well, then who's going to be your doctor? Because she has an Indian doctor.
Oh, boy.
And I said, well, wait a minute.
Hilarious.
I said, hold on.
That's hilarious.
That's what she said. She goes, well, who's going to be your doctor? She's a boomer aunt sitting at my house in Southampton, going, well, who's going to be your doctor? And I go, why are we not training American children to be doctors in America?
What'd she say to that?
She goes, well, no one does their homework. I was a teacher for 30 years, and I know that no one does their homework. And I go, do you think it's possible that nobody does their homework? Because we need 2 incomes to run a house, and kids are left to play video games by themselves, and they're not being parented, So I think this idea of, like, we're importing doctors, you know what I mean? Because this whole idea is like, oh, these are jobs Americans won't do, and then they're like, well, it's agriculture and stuff, and it's like, okay, you can understand some of that, but then you're like, wait a minute, are you saying Americans don't want to be doctors? That's crazy. They don't want to work in hotels or restaurants. Then you start going, well, what jobs can Americans do? I mean, Mark Andreessen came out, I don't know if you have the quote, Jamie, but, like, Mark Andreessen literally was talking about, and I don't have a problem with Mark Andreessen per se, I think this statement was silly. He said, oh yeah, after AI takes over, like, one of the only jobs that's going to be okay, I swear to God he said this, is venture capital. Because that'll be okay. Because we'll still need to make judgments about what's a worthy investment strategy.
How convenient that his job will be saved.
Well, this is the whole thing, right? Yeah, right there. Mark Andreessen says one job is mostly saved from AI venture capital. It's just funny to me
That's hilarious.
that this is the direction. If immigrants were taking the jobs of Hollywood screenwriters, they would not be celebrating it. If immigrants were taking the job of people at white shoe law firms, they would not be celebrating it. If they were taking the job of investment bankers, they would not be celebrating it. It's very obvious.
Yeah.
It's not anything wrong with the immigrants who come here. Obviously, that I would come here too, to take someone's job because I'd want to survive.
It's just a weird argument, like, who's going to be your doctor? It's a really weird argument. And it's kind of, I mean, no disrespect to you.
No, let's do it.
It's kind of racist.
It's very racist against whites.
It is. It's also weird. It's a weird argument because it's like all human beings can, of all nationalities and races, can do basically every job.
That's
People that do it all over. The idea that you need
hopefully true. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. Yes.
the most racist is like who's going to clean your toilet. Like, we've
Well, that
seen
was Kelly Osbourne on the
Yeah.
video. She's like, Mr. Trump, who's going to eat your shit? If you don't have immigrants here, who's going to eat your shit when you shit in a toilet?
By the way, is she in the witness protection program? Because she looks like a totally different human being now.
I don't know what they did. They popped her on somebody else's Zamps and they threw her in the shed.
Have you seen the new Alien show that's on
No,
Hulu?
I haven't.
It's really good. It's an alien show. But one of the things they do is they take like a dying person,
Yeah.
and they download their consciousness
Interesting.
into like a symbiotic organism.
And is this fake or is it real? Like, are they a real dying person?
Well,
Oh, it's a fictional
it's a
thing.
Fictional.
Okay.
It's Alien the movie.
Gotcha.
Like Ridley Scott Alien.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wonder if that happened to her.
Well, for sure.
Because
I mean,
otherwise, like, how does she look?
that's the
like,
problem. You want to defend Hollywood people sometimes against the QAnon stuff, and then you look at them and you're like, oh, God, can you make it easier for me to say you're not a clone? I mean, these young girls, they're 23 years old, and they have so much plastic surgery, they look like they're 47.
It's nuts. They
It's
have Botox
crazy.
already, and they're in their 20s.
And then all the QAnon people are like, it's because they're not getting enough of the whatever, adrenochrome. And you're like, no, that's not it. And then you look at their faces, you go, oh, shit. Maybe it is it. I mean,
Show me a photo of. She looks great. I
Yes,
should say this.
of course.
I'm just joking around. I'm
We're all
sure
kidding.
she hasn't been downloaded into a new body.
Not
but,
yet.
But if I had her on the podcast, like if someone said you want Kelly Osbourne to be on the podcast, and I said sure, and she showed up, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Disarm.
yeah, it's a fully new head. She has a new head.
Like, that's kind of crazy.
She just got a new head.
That's kind of crazy. The left one, I'm like,
The
oh yeah,
left one
that's
is
Ozzy.
a lesbian,
Yeah.
and the right one is hot and kind of and seems to be Asian.
Go to the other one, the last one that you showed up. Yeah, that one. That's kind of.
Can you go to 2003 and 2025? That's my favorite one right there.
Oh, right below that.
Please go to that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the left is me, and then the right, yeah.
That seems so crazy. Like, that is a totally different human. She has a completely different face. Like,
Well, it
the jaw
shows you-
structure. What did they do to her jaw?
Well, they do all of this stuff now. They break the bones in your face, and then they shave them.
Oh,
But I think that's nice. I think that's nice that people can get a new head or if they want, because many people struggle with the same head their entire life.
That's true.
But if you're a multimillionaire and you're in Hollywood and
Right.
you want another head,
God, that's so crazy. She looks great. I should
she
say.
looks great.
It's not. It's the opposite of what we used to see with
Yeah.
plastic surgery when people got into their 40s, like in the
Yes.
90s.
You're getting good.
They'd get the weird giant mouth where it looks like
Yeah.
they're about to eat someone's whole head.
Yeah.
Where their mouth goes all the way up to their
Yeah.
ears because they've been pulling their face back.
They've done a really, really good job at inventing another